My love is young, and I am old. She'll need a new man soon. But still we wake to clip and talk, to laugh as one, to eat and walk beneath our 10-year moon. Good moon, good sun, that we do love. I pray the world believe me and never tell me when it's time that I'm to die or she's to leave me. Genesis of Vancouver Lights is rather complicated. I wrote a first draft of this in 1924 when I was 20 years of age and an undergraduate at UBC. At that time, my chief sport was climbing. On the way up, you'd stop as soon as you got up on the plateau and look down on the lights of Vancouver, and it was terrific. I thought I'd like to write a poem about this. And there was a lot of images began coming to me, so I put them all down. I was just learning to type properly. On the UBC's one typewriter, I typed out painfully with a great number of errors, scratching out things, this poem. And I sent it in to the Vancouver province. My first attempt to publish anything. And after a suitable interval, I got back my poem, and with it was a letter from the poetry editor of the Vancouver province that just laid me out, you know. It was something to the effect that since you think so little of your effort as to send it to me in this grubby, tangled form and so forth, you can surely expect that I will send it back to you at once. And I assure you that there's no way in which I will have this published in the province. So this set me back so much for about 20 years, you know. And it remained with me from that time, it was about 1924 to 1941. And this time, I have something to write about. I'm not just writing about the lights of Vancouver. I'm writing about the possibility of the lights of Vancouver being extinguished forever. So I've really moved from being a purely scribbling landscape poet to being somebody obsessed with fear and wanting to rouse other people to the fear. Not many people went up to look down on the lights and think about that. The lights have gone out in Halifax. They might be going out next month in Vancouver. Who would turn them on again? Would there be any of us to turn them on? All this, for my first time in my life, facing to the possibility of the extinction of the human race through its own efforts at self-destruction. About me the night, moonless, wimples the mountains, wraps ocean, land, air, and mounting sucks at the stars. The city, throbbing below, webs the sable peninsula. Across to the firefly haze of a ship on the Gulf's erased horizon roll the lambent spokes of a lighthouse. Through the feckless years, we have come to the time when to look on this quilt of lamps is a troubling delight. Welling from Europe's bog, through Africa flowing and Asia, drowning the lonely looms on the oceans, tiding up over Halifax, now to this winking outpost comes flooding the primal ink. This must be say. Whoever may be to hear us, if murk devour and none weave again in gossamer, these rays were ours. We made and unmade them. Not the shudder of continents doused us, the moon's passion, nor crash of comets. In the fathomless heat of our dwarfdom, our dreams' combustion, we contrived the power, the blast that snuffed us. Oh, stranger, Plutonian, descendant, or beast in the stretching night, there was light. I used to go over in the summers to Bowen Island a good deal, where a friend of mine had built a wonderful hideout. One day when I came over, there was nobody there, only this thing on one of the tables. It was an examination for grade 6. It was a question and answer kind of thing, but the answers weren't there. So I supplied my own. So this is the poem. It's called 6th Grade Biology Quiz. Answers supplied by a rat. To what order do the rats belong? To a superior order. Where do they make their homes? In shelters underground, below your lethal border. How are their children born? From hydrocarbon links like yours, but harder. What do they eat? Your world's unguarded larder. Why are they dangerous to human health? Because your health is our chief danger. Have they any use for science? Yes, we trust in science, rodent science. Beneath your lab, your launching pad, your manger, we carry on our underground research and learn more ways to multiply and wait till men have cleared themselves and cats and left the streets to glare at sky, and there is freedom to preside for rats. Ticket. Where are you going? Oshawa? Oh, Ottawa. Oh, Ottawa. Right there, sir. Right there. That's first coach. Where are you going? Front? That's it. Up there. Belleville? Up there. Yeah. Hurry up. Oh, what? What? Wackety, clangety, clang, wackety, clang, dub. Beside the sea, beside the lake. Not the sea, it's the lake. It's the lake. The sea, the heat, the lake, sea, the sea, lake. And there's a ship, and what after whit, and we have a bar from the ditch, and scarp on the lake, and whackety dang, and when you leave the little station and go cheeving who the nation, when you leave a little patience and go chugging through the marmacancer, bugging through the marmaland, go jugging through the marmalade. The boo-hoo, the bish, the bird, the bush, the bar, the bosh, the birch, the birch, the barn, the farm alarm, the harm, the barmy farmlands, the squirmy wormlands, where there aren't so many farmers. Not a farmhand, not a lots of oil tanks, lots of gravel, pots of houses, all alike. There's a factory making tractories, making bucks, making trucks, and making bucks, and making faking cars and tracks and lime, and making time, and making sweatshirts, making time, and gims and dimes and dimes, and making hay. Ooh! Wash. Well, I'll spare you the rest of the voyage, but get you as far as Oshawa. Here is the one falling. Now, I call it fall by fury, because when I started thinking about, fall from a tree, it didn't take long, and I didn't all my past life didn't come up, all the questions that people ask you, you're falling 40 feet, you have time to think. That's true. What I kept thinking about, I realized, was how am I going to get the next branch? Because branches were near me, but just out of reach. And I was trying as I fell to grab at these, hoping, telling myself, I'll get one of these. I can't fall 40 feet. It would be too much. And that kind of thing, that was all. It was very stupid. I wasn't having my whole life, and I didn't change my religion or lack of religion. I didn't change my politics. Nothing like that happened to me. I just fell 40 feet sitting in the air. What I really want to write about is the state of mind which led to my falling. The shame which I did feel. I felt ashamed that I had done this. I felt like a mountain climber who had boobed. And that's really what this poem is about. Now was the season, summer so high and still. The birds in the circling woods held all the tale. I was climbing the tall beech to prune dead limbs that overhung the summer home, before some gale might hurl a snag into glass. Each grasped, tugged at the old zest for a climb. The rock fort a year back in Sri Lanka. And before, in my 60s, up the yellow spines of the Olgas. At 58, in cloud on the ribs of Whainapitchu. At 30, inching down chalk on Lulworth Cliffs. 21, and over the icy necks of the Garibaldis. Before that, the mountains of youth, Temple, Edith, all the climbings made in joy of the sport, and never with hurt. So I threw the last snag down, and the locked saw after, turning and shifting my grips to descend to Wylan. And something, my ubris, some fury of insect wing and sting drove its whining hate at my eye. One hand unloosed, convulsive to shield, and I slipped forever from treetops. Yet still in the night, I reach for holds, eluding my clutch, till the moment comes when the furies relent. I catch and cling, swoop, alight on a friendly ground, and run again on 2 good feet over the grass of dreams. This is the epithet that I am attaching to the beginning of my last book of poems. Over the hill and sinking fast in the bog, I've time just to wave one muddy hand.